Good evening, Worlds Collide community, and welcome to another Warring Triads match. We have Outlaw.Star versus Jesus the Frog, and we are going to be seeing them compete in the ever popular Spicy Chicken Poltergeist flag set. I'm going to be joined here with Saberwolf, who is also handling the restream. And I believe there is some playoff implications for this match, namely Outlaw.Star, who is substituting for one of the teams, does need to win this for that team to be able to have a chance to go on to the playoffs. So if Jesus the Frog wins, I believe it's automatically going to be a win for their team. Uh, so and as you can see, it's Team Meteo versus Team Ultima. And so this is going to be a very interesting and very important matchup as far as the playoff scene goes.
Yeah, definitely. Earlier this evening, we did have a match between Team Meteo versus Team Ultima. That was between. Of course, I moved my page and I lost it just now. um, it was. Sorry, Lexian versus Fly Eagles Fly. That was earlier today. Lexian actually beat Fly Eagles Fly 128.42 to 205.07. Now, you cannot finish more than a maximum of 30 minutes apart. So that is an automatic 30, but the time doesn't matter. All that matters is wins. Team Meteo has to win every single match this week. That's right, all three matches. That's why you see a little Chocobo head above Outlaw.Star. So they do have to win this match, and they also have to win another match on Saturday. That'll be jesusthefrog versus Green Monkey. We'll see if anybody's able to do that restream for you well.
Yeah, and again, this is the ever popular spicy chicken. So if you are completely opposed to logic, well, we got that handled with the Y remove, so you can totally break the game logic if you're inclined to. Additionally, if you ever thought that the magic menu was just too cluttered, we've taken the liberty of removing all the ice and thunder spells as well as the stop spell, just to streamline your magic menu. Only have to worry about fire spells now.
That's right. And we are 10 seconds away now from this. I gotta stop the music. Stop the music.
Additionally, 4 dragons can get you some auto haste, auto safe. And if you want help killing dragons, you can get the Dragoon set from the Colosseum. And here we
And we're
go.
off and running like a thunder. You heard of Basset Hounds. We do see Gao, Realm, and Saban to start with. That is some really quick checks going on here.
There's some pretty nice abilities on those. I saw Vanilla Blitz on Saban, and I think Shock was on Realm.
Ooh, Realm with Shock with high magic power is gonna be very, very nice to see. But one thing we do have to note though is that although these guys have very quick checks, Gao has the Velt check, Saban has the camp check, Realm has her Esper Cave or Esper Mountain kind of check. The thing that we have seen this whole entire competition is fighting early fights, just random fights, just general anywhere. So Figaro World of Ruin, which we see both of our runners, I believe, right now. No, I'm sorry. Looks like Outlaw.Star is in World of Ruin. Jesus the Frog is actually in World of Balance. But getting those early fights and getting those levels way above their current time, we have seen a lot of races won by using that strategy.
Okay, 16 fight Curse Shield. Again, that's the Y remove, able to get into there and to check that out without being locked in the party. Same thing, we're going to go ahead and do the weapons shop check and get something out of this, hopefully useful.
Well, again, this is the kind of the. Ooh, the other thing was actually an experience egg. So if we do find terror, we will be able to get an experience egg later on behind the Wilt check. Now, one
And
thing.
hopefully we'll get a chance to see what's that on that Shiva too.
Yeah, we'll hopefully see that very soon. But one thing I do, again, want to note the scaling in these flag series, all three flag series, is matters on what checks you have gotten, not necessarily what amount of what the battles are, or anything, whether it's rewards like characters, espers, or dragons we have seen in the past. It all matters on what checks, dead checks or regular checks. It doesn't matter what. So by not actually doing any checks, you can actually scale your levels way, way, way above the competition. While all the monsters are still level 3, you could be level 12, level 15 or so, and you're still fighting level 3 bosses when you haven't done any checks yet. So those early battles, again, like I said, is pretty important in this early game that can propel you through all the way through probably mid game.
Yeah, and it's going to depend on like how badly you want those early checks. And that weapon shop check that we saw earlier is a lock check, and it does count towards checks. So that does mean Outlaw.Star has already incremented it a bit, but did get Shiva out of it, which will count towards the Esper count, and does mean that the experience gained is also going to increment as well.
Yeah, getting that one Esper is not a horrible thing. Getting that, oh, that's a Minerva there in the pot. That's both of these runners are probably going to find there, being in as a high 5 in the Returner's hideout. Now, one Esper is not going to be that bad because you are going to do some fights. You are probably going to hopefully get some magic points to learn those spells on there. So getting one is not going to be horrible, but again, it does raise the scale just a little bit. So what Outlaw.Star is going to be fighting, all the stuff you're going to be fighting is going to be around level 5 or 6-ish.
Double empties and a relic ring. So South Figaro World of Balance is not paying off right now.
Yeah, and it looks like both of our runners are doing balance. So no reverse sweeping of the basement in this one. Well, no, we still could. We do have wire remove, so we still could reverse the basement here.
Yeah, so far, I don't know if we've seen anything really exciting in any of the shops. So that Thunder Shield's nice, though.
That's exciting. Although this is Spicy Chicken, so Thunder and Ice spells are turned off.
That's a third empty chest in World of Balance.
Oh. That makes you sick to your stomach. Well, one other thing we want to know for a Spicy Chicken is that if you do one Coliseum, just one Coliseum fight, doesn't matter what the reward is, you do get a Dragoon set for doing it. So that will hopefully be in the cards. Now, we don't have a Yeti, so we're not going to have an optimal fighter for the Coliseum, but hopefully maybe Saban Blitzes might be able to pull it off. Or Realm with Shock actually could do it too.
Yeah, and we still don't know what's on. I didn't catch what was on Gao, so there could be something useful on Gao.
Yeah, unfortunately, Gao doesn't have a fight command, so any kind of spears on them is not going to be any good unless they did get jump as a natural ability.
Okay, so with this, like, what are you hoping for if you've got this starting party? Like, where do you want to go first?
Where do I want to go first? Well, I do want to get a couple of little fights in. Which saving automatically... 39 gold for an Esper Manduin from the Tizen Thief on World of Balance. That is amazing. But again, that does push scale up a little bit for Jesus the Frog, though. But what I want to do, I probably want to do camp with Saban. Unless I get too many Espers here, then I might instead go fight some fights maybe in the South Figaro Cave or World of Ruin Narsh. Just somewhere I can fight some battles where there's a healing spring. I just constantly keep healing my party up and getting some levels. That's if we do too many of these freebie Espers here.
I mean, another option potentially is Serpent Trench, since we do have Gao.
Yeah, we do have Serpent Trench too, so that's probably... So we probably would do Serpent Trench. Well, if we find any dried meat, we don't think we've found dried meat yet. So I think that's the first thing these runners are probably looking for is dried meat. So we can combo that double Gao check in the Veld and then Cave in the Veld, which leads into the underwater check there. Atma weapon. So I don't think Jesus the Frog did the basement. I think he just did the overall check, which has been the, I guess you could say, flavor of the month lately for our Megalixir type runners, if you follow their Ultra League stuff. But is going to have to pass on 20k chest and an Atma weapon, though. And there's some Megalixirs there in the weapon shop of all places in Albrook World of Balance.
Okay, and it looks like Outlaw.Star is going to do the Coliseum check right now. Or not check, but it's basically flew to where the Coliseum is.
Yeah, that's not bad. Well, we'll see what we can do for fights here. See what... Still don't know what Gao has for abilities, though, fortunately.
I mean, so far he's the Moogle Charm Mule, so might not be anything great compared to the other two.
Yeah, maybe. Looks like Sabin is going to be there. Oh, he put a Hyper Wrist on Gao, so maybe he has Sword Tech? That's the only thing I could think of. Hyper Wrist or Jump is the only thing I could think of that would be on Gao. Ice Shield.
Yeah, Ice Shield might be one of the better choices there.
Ooh, I don't like the fight, though. Landworm? It's not going to kill round, but it is going to get her very low. Oh, missed.
How much health does that Landworm have?
Well, he did do a check, so it's at level 6, so it's going to be almost double what it would be if he didn't do anything. Okay, Realm has some defense, so he's going to be able to get through some of this. Okay, Jesus the Frog put earrings on Gao, so kind of a contradictory of what we're doing here. Oh, that's going to kill Realm, though.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, we're going to try a different character now for this.
And if he lost that Episword, he's not going to
not horrible. Okay, we're just going to throw... just going to get something random, then. Random reward here. We don't even know what's going to be. This is what we were trying to do against Landworm. Why you couldn't do that before? As Jesus the Frog also goes to Coliseum. We'll see if he has different items up for grabs here.
Yeah, so that was definitely Shock Realm. There's our Dragoon set.
Super Balls for Cure Rings. Against a Stereodite? Oh, goodness gracious.
Okay.
I prefer the Landworm here.
I again missed what Gao had. Oh,
Capture slot. Not great.
Yeah, that maybe we find a third or fourth character and sub in someone for Gao.
So with the Hyper Wrist on Gao, that indicates that Outlaw.Star is going to use the capture command as a fight command for Gao to try to get those hits in with a weapon. Where Jesus the Frog is going to look like using the earring on Gao is going to focus on using the slots instead.
Yeah, I mean, I would say for myself, I'd probably use the find another character as soon as possible option.
Well, Jesus the Frog does get through one fight versus Outlaw.Star's 2 fights for the Coliseum, so a little bit faster there.
And did they get the same? What item did Jesus the Frog get?
Jesus the Frog got a, I think it might have been an Ice Shield. And so Outlaw.Star got something random. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, Outlaw.Star tried to get the Ice Shield, but lost that. And
help us out, chat. What was it again? Tried meat for Outlaw.Star. That's what he was looking for.
Yeah. Okay, so we can start looping in some of the northeastern checks, as I call
them. Nor'easter.
Well, yeah, you got Sabin, Cyan, and Gao all sort of concentrated around this area as far as their checks.
Ooh, that's one. So one battle miss versus just starting out for Outlaw.Star. So now we find our runners after going all over the globe, doing some various things, each one of them getting their Esper at different locations, find ourselves side by side on the veldt. Oh, but Outlaw.Star gets on the first try, and that's a Cyan.
Okay, so we don't have any characters with sword tech yet, but again, this is another character that's got a bunch of checks in the same area. So there's a lot of stuff you can do without having to travel too far.
Oh, and looks like they're going up in the airship here. Maybe they're going to unequip Gao and just take Cyan as is.
That's a lore Cyan.
Well, it's better than a slot machine Gao, honestly. Well, he's going to take Gao anyways. Not sure why.
I mean, sometimes you just need some meat shields.
So Jesus Frog is not going to do Serpent Trench. He's actually going to go to maybe Narshworld Ruin. Okay, so he's going to do Narshworld Ruin before doing the Serpent Trench. So he's actually going to increase the scale even more before doing Serpent Trench. while Outlaw.Star does Serpent Trench here.
Is it possible that he's going dragon hunting?
I mean, maybe. Well, he's doing a
He's
jumping
putting
Sabin now.
So doesn't want to use Blitz on Sabin then?
I don't know. I mean, Blitz is a really strong ability. He has earrings. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I would have personally probably gone with jump on Cyan because like the lore doesn't seem quite as useful as like Dragonhorde jumping. But maybe there's not. Maybe Cyan doesn't have the spear equip.
Ooh, Jesus the Frog's going to pass on the Esper. He's going to take the experience egg instead.
I mean, that will help of getting a bit extra out for one of the characters on scaling. And this is the second fight in Serpent Trench for Outlaw.Star.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could put some earrings on that Sabin and maybe get a magic power Esper on him, and that's going to be really powerful blitzes as you go along. Because the only blitzes that are actually built on the physical damage, I think, are pummel and suplex.
Yeah, definitely. And if that experience egg for Jesus the Frog, I would put that on Sabin immediately and try to get that bum rush all the way up, so he could probably solo lane by himself. Because with these Triads flag sets, we already know the statues are waiting there for you at the end of the run, and we've seen a lot of runs end tragically just sitting at the statues. So it looks like Jesus is also going to try to do an Uncurse the Shield and doing Jador World of Ruin first, going straight for a possible boss here.
Yeah, it's a 16 fight shield, which feels like a lot to me. I don't know if that's something that.
Oh, sorry, no, he's not. Oh, that was the chest. Never mind, my bad.
But yeah, that is like a 16 fight curse shield. So
Yeah.
you got a lot to chew through there.
And he's going to increase scaling again by doing Collapsing House now.
Is he hunting for an offering?
I mean, I guess so. I would assume so. I mean, what else would he be doing this for? I mean, he already got the T's and Thief, bro. you paid $2 for it, basically. That's another Esper there for Outlaw.Star for 2.
Yeah. Yeah, so Serpent Trench probably is paid off. He probably got some levels. Definitely got an Esper from that. Can go and check the clock here in the Nakia Inn for something.
Got a random. I don't know if he meant to buy that wall ring, unless he's. I don't think he meant to buy the wall ring, but he did anyways.
Found some fixed dice right there in the collapsing house.
Ooh, okay. Well, we do
and
have
a gauntlet.
Well, I mean, we need to find a replacement for Gao, honestly. And if we can have somebody with fixed dice usage, preferably Setzer of all people. We do have a Dragoon set, so we can make Setzer Dragoon dice here. And Outlaw.Star doing exactly what we predicted that we thought the run was going to be, going to camp second here. Just getting fights first, no bosses.
Yeah, so did
Fire
Serpent
2,
Trench
Magic
already.
Power plus 2. Okay, that changes things for Gao now. And for Cyan, if he's got good lores. Second experience for Jesus. Wow.
Okay, so, but that, as you mentioned, Jesus, he's behind on scaling by a bit.
He is behind on scaling, but those experience aids are going to catch him up, though, because Outlaw.Star doesn't have one. Jesus has 2. But Jesus also trapped an Esper behind Terra. So hopefully he can catch Terra later on here.
Okay, another monster in a box check.
Oh. Well,
this is a decent one.
Well, this is only going to put Outlaw.Star further ahead on levels if he can get through this fight.
Yeah, if you got some way to nullify this guy's attacks, this is just free XP.
Well, levels. I mean, one thing about Worlds Collide is all about levels. If your levels are much, much higher than whatever's you're fighting, your damage output or defensive stats are going to be astronomically higher than whatever it is you're fighting. And
Oh, wow. There we go.
That is where the levels come in. And doing this Gigantos fight, it's only going to make his levels even higher now. Especially when he's not even fighting bosses yet. He hasn't fought a boss yet. He's going to be like possibly 4-2 or 5. He's going to be 5-2 or 4-3 and hasn't fought a boss yet. So his levels are going to be amazing.
Yeah, he has a couple checks under his belt, but
Reach Frogs.
Been a lot of experience.
And these Reach Frogs are also amazing too.
Stole the attack star from it. That would be helpful if we find a throw character.
Yeah,
and again, Shock Realm is just putting in work.
Yeah, and looks like we have Fire 3 learned on Outlaw.Star side, and that's an Edgar.
All right. Jesus Frog is going to be finding that as well soon. We'll see if he takes any of the trap chests, finds that Gigantos.
Well, plus Edgar being a natural jumper, natural Dragoon set with Spear User, I think that Dragoon set's going to go right on them, depending on what their abilities are, unless you have Sword Tech.
But at the very least, it's a decent replacement for Gao.
It's a very good replacement for Gao. I think it's like the best replacement for Gao. I mean, Gao's not going to be long for this world. I would actually, before this last fight here, after these vendors, I would strip Gao of all of his armor and stuff before the end of this, before he goes into the next fight. And that way I don't have to swap this gear off later.
Yeah, and we can start seeing some difference here. Jesus Frog doesn't have, he does have Sign. He must be using Sign as his jump character because I didn't notice him right until I saw the health bars.
Yeah.
But you can tell there's just by where their health's at, the huge level difference that they're seeing.
Yeah, and Outlaw.Star did do the Gigantos fight before this too, so either way, he's going to be way higher in levels because of it.
And Realm keep on, being OP as usual.
Mm-hmm. Runic Edgar, and he replaces.
We don't really care about the Runic as much as the fact that he can equip spears.
Exactly. So he's all about the jump thing, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's switching the jump command over to Edgar here in a little bit. I don't know what the spear we got though from the Coliseum though.
So I guess the question then is, what do you do with Cyan now?
I mean, Cyan lore is not horrible, especially when you have a +2 magic power Esper available out there. So you just stick that. Well, I mean, if he has Grand Train or Quasar,
right.
I mean, just stick the +2 on him and just forget it. Just forget about it. Just forget you ever put it on him.
So just maybe go and check what he actually has for lores, and then if there's something pretty there, just keep going with that.
Oh yeah, I mean, the beautiful thing about the Worlds Collide randomizer is that you can have, and he has a Minerva on him, that's going to boost up his magic power already. That if you could find like an early +2 magic power, you can just train him into being like a heavy lore user.
Okay, Dome of Defense does not have any new characters for us,
which is what we're
going straight boss fight.
Ooh, Guardian's gonna be a little tough, but we do have pretty high levels. 700 HP Edgar, my goodness. I mean, he hasn't healed, so I mean his levels must be crazy high.
Yeah, and that Sign just soaked that tech laser.
Well, he has Minerva, that's lightning damage, so yeah. Is Shock Defense ignoring from the chat? I believe it is. I believe it is.
Doing a lot of damage.
Yep. Oh no! Jesus the Frog forgetting to put a Moogle charm back on because it was on his Gao. This is a disaster with a Doom Dragon. Okay, Shock is not armor ignoring. Okay, defensive ignoring. I'm sorry. It's non-elemental.
That thing just cast Fallen One.
Yeah, shock is pretty powerful, but it does fall off later in the game unless you can keep up with it with like magic powers and stuff like that.
This is not a fun fight.
And I hope he's saved because, yeah, he's in trouble.
Do you just like use a warp stone or smoke bomb to get out of this thing?
Oh, the shock comes
got
through.
Yeah,
Wow.
You know, Realm is carrying.
Well, Shock Realm is broken to begin with. I mean, that's the only reason. If he didn't have Shock Realm, he would not have gotten through that fight. Well, we just see the reward here for the Dome of Defense here. We want to see Espers right now. Or like an Illumina Ragnarok would be nice too.
Shadow is at the throne room of Figaro Castle.
Oh, it's a dead check. It was Dragonhorn.
And we already got one of those from the Colosseum, so not really helpful.
There are Dragon Boots in South Figaro World of Balance relic shop, so we could make another
maybe
jumper
double jumpers?
You know, if you're in the air, they can't hit you. I mean, and unfortunately, I missed the. Did we see what the throne was?
Thrown in Figaro Castle?
Yeah.
That was Shadow.
Oh gosh gracious, another character.
Zone Seek the Magicite is at Phantom Train.
All right. Well, we do get one fight. Oh, that's Mute Fighter.
Yeah, so Zone Seek has Mute. That's probably one of the better things off of that. It was just a plus 10% HP.
Oh. I don't know if Outlaw.Star meant to fight this and maybe pushed the wrong button. He might be. I mean, he's trying to get all these little fights in for levels here. As Jesus the Frog continues to push the scale. We're doing these free checks. Does get an Esper finally out of it.
I mean, that Palador could help out with some stuff later on.
Just get a sense of scaling right now. We know that Outlaw.Star's levels are ridiculously high. He's only got 5 checks, so he's only fighting level 13 things. Or, well, 5, 12, 5, sorry, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He's fighting level 15 things.
Looks like he briefly forgot he had Y remove and got a little stuck on one of those ghosts.
Yeah. And then on Jesus the Frog's side, he's level 18, but he's done 7 checks. So his scaling is actually around...
Oh, that Edgar can wield fixed dice.
Yes, he can. But Jesus the Frog is under-leveled right now. He's level 18 fighting level 21 things. So...
Yeah, and it also looks like that the reward from the Colosseum was a partisan.
It's not horrible. I mean, it's not... the Orlance, which would be the best thing of the 3, I think, in my opinion, but... And anyway, now Jesus the Frog's going to do the leveling now. Okay. So this will catch him up. I'll start with a backdoor chest.
So we got another monster in a box. This is Katana Soul, so we got our offering if we can get through this.
That's huge.
Yeah, and this is one of the real advantages of having Sabin, is that I think he gains like 4 or possibly 5 monster in a box checks.
Pretty clutch there on the level 3 muddle, though. That would have been amazing. We did see in the lores that Cyan does not have Quasar or Grand Train, so does not have either of those.
Yeah, I guess that's why Cyan's currently in the front row, is to just use him as a damage dealer for now.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a lore. His magic power is really low, so we're not going to be casting anything. So really, you're just hoping that he can do an Atma weapon, a VK, or something later on.
either hopefully find another character later that you can swap him out for. But we are through that katana, so Outlaw.Star will have an offering.
Well, I'm saying Atma or VK because now we have the offering, is what I'm saying. So if we can get
Right.
that for Cyan, then we have our full party easily. Jesus the Frog hanging out in his submarine. Wondering if it's a yellow submarine, actually.
Yeah, and so Outlaw.Star has not done the Figaro Castle throne room check, so doesn't know if Shadow is there.
Shout out
And
to
I don't
Jabbercar
think
for the follow. Thank you for that.
I don't think we've seen what's on Shadow either.
I mean, yeah. I mean, at this point, Shadow's kind of a non-starter. Unless you replace Cyan with it. But now that we're at 5 characters, our
If that
backbencher
was
is going to lower the levels on our new recruit, so...
If that was like a vanilla Shadow with Throw, that'd be a pretty useful character to be
definitely
swap in.
Well, speaking of spicy, we have Inferno chasing her team down the tracks, which unfortunately puts the back guys in the front row, and that's a lot of damage on launcher.
Yeah, we do see Outlaw.Star taking the time to swap everyone's rows just to make sure everyone's in the proper place.
Yeah, it's definitely a safe route as Jesus gets that Odin at the end of Serpent Trench. Now that they only had like 1 spell on it, though.
Yeah, Edgar unfortunately is taking a nap right now.
He's a tired king. King needs his nap.
Yeah, delegating authority as royals sometimes do. Cyan's taking the role of alchemist and bringing Edgar back up.
Now, there's a reward for doing dragons, by the way, before we get there, because I feel a dragon coming on very, very soon. If you do 4 dragons. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say it was auto haste, auto safe for 4 dragons, I believe.
That's correct. Whoop. We lost Outlaw.Star's feed there for a second. We're going to switch over to jesusthefrog because it's been a little more stable. So we're just going to change the audio to that one.
Okay, we do have the Guardian fight that's at Dome of Defense. And Cyan is currently a statue on Outlaw.Star side from that Delta hit.
Cemetery Shuffle.
Okay, well, we're not using jesusthefrog because he never muted his mic.
Okay, Cyan's back in the game. The arms are currently down for Inferno, but that's if you can't take out Inferno, he'll be able to regenerate those. Tech barriers up, and we're throwing some. Oh, Cyan has Pearlwind, so he's going to be a healer for now.
Oh, his monitor is behind him. He's not going to be able to see my chat. Oh, well, we're just not going to listen to Jesus the whole time, I guess. That's okay.
Okay, so Outlaw.Star did get through that Inferno fight. It was a bit touch and go just because, it started off in the wrong foot and, a couple guys went down or became statues, but managed to pull it out and get everything back in order there. And going right into the waterfall fight, again, this is the really efficient routing you get from those particular groups of characters.
Very much so. The Cyan Sabin combo, doing all 3 of those checks in virtually the same region, thanks to the party split up portion, which you could say is the halfway point in the World of Balance. Well, actually, the end of the first third, I guess, of the World of Balance section of the game. Ooh, 3 Stooges. Not fun, though.
Yep. And so, as anyone knows, or anyone who's familiar with World Decline knows, you want to go ahead and get that top stooge, the fire elemental one, down first, because like a phoenix, he can use his fire powers to bring back his allies.
Very much so. I'm kind of surprised The Sand Empire, we haven't done Dome of Dream yet, though. We are going to do Mount Zozo here on Jesus' side.
I am a big fan of dragon hunting, so I approve of this, assuming he is actually going to hunt the dragon.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Jesus got a Super Ball from the Coliseum. That's what he got. So he does have a Super Ball in his pocket for this dragon coming up. Ooh, unfortunately, Outlaw.Star getting the Stooges down the wrong order. Curly does res the rest of his fellow Stooges.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Stooges are a bit more troublesome in this particular flag set because you don't have the usual like ice or thunder spells to take down your fire Stooge first.
Yeah, you have to look for the ice rods and ice shield to try to get that in. Unfortunately, as Jesus does do the dragon here, and it is red dragon. Unfortunately,
another
so
one
ice,
that's yeah. This is not a great matchup, but if you got the power to get through it, you can. And if he picked up an ice rod anywhere, he can use that too. But the Super Ball does seem like a possible solution.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to bounce that ball here after Cyan stops bouncing on the dragon here. Big roll number there, 2,800.
Waterfall had choked Esper.
Rage comes out. That's going to be big damage, but it's not going to take anyone down. Not jumping with Edgar, but the higher roll, another 2,600. That's going to take down Dragon.
Yeah, all right. So that dragon does count as a check, but it's also like one less dragon you need for the floor to get the auto haste auto save. And dragons are usually a good chunk of experience and magic points too.
Economizer there. That's going to be interesting. Sorry, family text there.
We did see a flame saber, but also that looks like it might have been. I can't tell if that was a ghost or a Moogle or something else. We'll get a better look shortly.
It's a ghost.
Oh, it's just a ghost. Okay.
And that's an Esper writing letters from afar there. So another Esper there for Jesus. Ooh, hide on the High Knights. We do have fire.
Yeah, this is one where you're actually glad you have your fire magic available because these guys are mostly vulnerable to fire. I think there's one that just absorbs any elements, but even then, yeah, the big idea is you get Poppy hit them down and the rest will go away.
I'm almost tempted to. That's a problem.
Yeah, that.
Ooh.
If Realm shocks the party, that could be a not a fun time.
No, this could be very, very bad. Edgar, do not come down right now. Edgar, do not come down right now. Edgar, this is a bad spot for you right now.
Okay, so Edgar dodges it. Science survives it.
Oh, he's like, nope, I'm resetting.
Yeah.
That was bad. And Jesus the Frog is falling right behind him. He's also in the same area.
Yeah, so we're assuming that Outlaw.Star goes back in. We're going to see simultaneous hide-and fights, or close to simultaneous.
I am almost tempted to kill off the little Haydenites to try to pull out maybe a Grand Train to teach it to my Cyan. I mean, I know it's asking a lot, but it's an option. I'm just saying, it's an option.
I mean, it's not impossible at all. Like, you have shock. That shock could potentially get rid of most of them, provided Realm doesn't get confused. Yeah, so that shock is going to take out all of the Haydenites, and that will start making Papa go into rage mode.
Yep.
We do see Outlaw.Star not trying to directly target the big guy, though, rather than taking out the Haydenites.
Is it Papa Hayden or Grandpa Hayden? Because he's been around as long as Strago has.
I mean, I don't know anything about his particular species or their reproductive cycles, so I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Dude, okay, dude. Although Womp could be the little ones. I'm just saying. Doesn't look like... It looks like Womp for the scaling that we're currently at, and that's both Haydens down at the same time.
Yeah, so in spite of all the divergence, we did get to see this nice little simultaneous hide and kill. Like, there was even divergence in how they chose to take this fight.
So the only difference right now is Jesus has Shadow and a dragon up. So technically Jesus has been more active, checks and like progression wise, while Outlaw.Star has been focusing on the levels wise. So again, these are the two ideas of thought that has been going through this entire running of these seeds, as Jesus Frog's now going to do Waterfall, as Outlaw.Star is going to do a combo here. I don't think he's done Tease and Thief, so he could get maybe 2 Espers off this, because I think this was an Esper from something else, correct?
Yeah, if I remember, I know that the Thief is an Esper. That's a lot more to pay for it, but you have the money. Like
7,000 is 7,000 is actually usually low, but yeah, the double digits was better for Roll the Bounce. But yeah, using that Y remove effectively to get through the crowd.
Yeah, and we do see a Jesus Frog targeting the fire stooge right now, which is the correct way to handle this.
Yeah, but the only, like I said, the only thing is for their offense is we do have a little bit of an AoE action here, because we have jump, which you can target the first jump, but you don't know where the other jumps, so the other jumps following that are going to go.
Right.
We don't have offering on the Jesus side, so we're not offering fixed icing, so we're only getting that one roll in.
Outlaw.Star just ran in, grabbed the kit, and ran out. Didn't really check any of the chests. Fire Stooge is down.
Outlaw.Star did get the Esper from before. I'm just marking that now. Let's see if this is another Esper after that, which will kind of tie things up a little bit here. Nope, that was an experience egg. So, all right, that was his first experience egg. Jesus has 2 experience eggs because he passed on the
Shiva.
When Shiva actually has Fire 3. So that was a big pass on that one. Looks like he found Fire 3 elsewhere, though, because he is using it.
Yeah, so I saw level 30 on Sabin, it looked like, or on Realm for Outlaw.Star side, so let's see where else they're at next time they go into a menu.
Mm-hmm. Also, to keep note on the checks, see where they are in scaling. Outlaw.Star is at 9. Jesus is going to be at 13. So he is 4 checks ahead in scaling right now. And I believe this is another Esper for him.
Yeah, Outlaw.Star still has not done any of the Edgar checks, so does not know that Shadow is there yet. That could be where he heads next, though.
Jesus Sabin is at level 38, so he is getting really close to that bum rush before even completing KT unlock. Yeah.
So we're going to see the all of Ed. Looks like he's going to do all of Edgar's stuff at once, and we got Doma Dream over on Jesus' side.
The only thing with Outlaw.Star is for his side is he's going to get his first dragon. He's not had any dragons in. It looks like he's a little distracted writing things down or something because he keeps running into walls. Well, Jesus is going to go into Doma Dream. This is our first dive into the dream as well. So we're going to see a lot of divergence now with some rewards here, as it is not a character there at the beginning here of the Edgar series.
Yeah, I mean, these are both, like, pretty good checks in my opinion. There's a lot you can do in a relatively short amount of time with both of these.
Yeah, just leave that XP on Sabin until you can learn Bum Rush pretty much, and then move it over to Realm, I think.
Yeah, it seems like that experience egg has just been sitting on Sabin the entire time. We've got Kefka fight. All you have to do is finish him off, and then the seed's over.
Well, the experience egg is where they're supposed to be. The big thing about dice rolls is it does matter on what level you are with the calculation of the dice roll. So, and that does figure in as that Okay, Jesus the Frog's damage is now kicked in now. And then the experience for Sabin to try to learn that Bum Rush ability. So the experience eggs are definitely on the best too. You could argue Realm with Shock because Shock does fall off later game, but it does not look like it's falling off anytime soon. Probably has that +2 magic power on her.
Yeah, so unfortunately Kefka ran away, so we do have to finish off the rest of the seed.
Ooh, that's character number 7 for Jesus. That is go-go. Well, we have too many tentacles on the screen there for Ultros. I wish you could program it that whenever we have Ultros as the boss and tentacles, all the tentacles are purple on the screen.
But Ultros doesn't stick around for long, so the engine room is now safe. And we got Phoenix for it.
It does do the bonus one, just a matter of sight though. I will say I do prefer Jesus's one more because it is 2 boss fights and 3 checks. And it's fast. Well, both of them are 2 boss fights and 2 or 3 checks, but Jesus's side is so much faster because Outlaw.Star has to go through all of the ancient castle, which can take a bit. But it does have 2 trap chests, but it already has offerings, so it doesn't really matter. So.
And Outlaw.Star did not check the throne room before going back down.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
So again, we know that Shadow is up there on that, sitting on that throne. So hopefully Outlaw.Star will remember to go and say hi once he's done with the ancient castle.
Well, if anything, it actually helps him not picking up Shadow, because that's going to keep the scaling a little lower for not doing that check. So in essence, that's actually going to help him in the long run.
Okay,
he doesn't know it, but it's going to help him.
Yeah, so we do have to go fight that Rex, whoever's hiding at Rexall's spot.
Yipper and maybe the... Oh, for evening he's just said, yeah. He's going to get 2 rewards after this, so it'd be really good. Plus the Sword Tech unlock, so... Well, we haven't found a Sword Tech user yet. Another Ultros. Ultros 3.
And there are 4 separate Ultros fights in the game, so Ultros does make frequent appearances even in random.
Yeah, of all the Ultroses, this one's probably the quote-unquote hardest of the 3, I think. If you get it in low levels and you don't, set up for damage, it can be a little troublesome. Believe it or not.
Finds the snow muffler in the kitchen bucket.
Okay. Gotta keep Realm warm, apparently. Scully, we do have fire, so this should be easy. There's character number 7 there for Jesus. He does have all the characters he needs. Was that a fire 2 for 4,800? Dead check gem box. Oh, that hurts. Only 1 Esper, 1 character in that progression, and it's not a decent character either.
Yeah, your best bet is to take that to the Final Fantasy VI equivalent Pawn Stars and see how much they'll give you for it.
Yeah. Oh,
and gem box also.
Ooh, Terra!
But that's Terra.
That's the Esper! No, that's the Experience Egg. The Experience Egg for Outlaw.Star. Steel Terra is not great, though. He's going to keep Terra on the bench. But again, we haven't found any, Illuminas or Ragnaroks and stuff that we could really use on that slot anyway, so it honestly doesn't really matter.
So,
but this is huge. If Jesus can go to Ancient Castle, this will catch Jesus up a lot.
Yeah, but Outlaw.Star just needs to go check out the throne room. We'll be on 7 characters as well.
Yeah.
And those 7 characters that they have open are Shadow. Yeah, because that does mean we have Floating Continent available to them as well.
I would not do Floating Continent unless I had to, especially at this stage. when we only need 2 espers. Jesus the Frog is going to do Tritouch here. Does not have Yeti. So this would be a Dragon Tritouch here.
Yeah, he doesn't have Terra either, so because otherwise he could go World of Balance, do Welk check, and get the Shiva that he passed up on earlier.
Yeah, but it's on the tail end of the Edgar train, so that's really far away. I don't think he's going to go for Terra at all.
Like Outlaw.Star has remembered that there is something to do on the throne room here. It looks like Outlaw.Star is fine with the current party composition. He's going to go get the hidden chest up here. There's just a remedy.
Yep, Jesus the Frog passing on the dragon. He's going to do Tritouch here, which can only be an Esper or item here. That's what pretty much he's looking for.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Just because like all he needs is 2 Espers for unlock.
In this situation, because of Spicy Chicken, both our runners have 2 Espers needed. Just go to Magitech. Magitech, really quick. You have 2 chances to get Espers on the first 2 checks and just warp out. That is where we'd be going right now. Maybe after doing this one in the Narsh World of Ruin here to get maybe a Tritouch Esper off a dragon. But then I would definitely go to...
My feeling is Outlaw.Star might go Doma Dream at this point.
Yeah, he might, but the problem is it's not going to give him the 2 Espers he needs, but he does not know that. And that is... he's thinking about it.
Switching to World of Balance.
That is the Esper that Jesus needed, a Tritouch, so it did pay off.
Okay, he's doing
Terra.
Welk.
So Terra Welk here, it is going to give him another experience egg, although it's kind of late in the game. Because he did pass the experience egg. Dirty Dragon, this is not the dragon you want to see, but we should be able to get through it. Opener Quake! Rude. Did survive, though.
Yeah, it looks like he's got plenty of levels to get through this.
Oh. Yeah, this dragon's not playing nicely with the honed tusks in the Quake action here.
Low roll on the dice there.
Yeah, we need to hopefully pick this up a little quicker here. Oh!
That hurt.
Oh,
I didn't see what...
Yeah, I think it was Mog or Celeste.
Yeah, there's definitely something there. I just didn't catch it. Marshall with 2 tap dancers is that the Welk check, however.
It's not the worst. French vanilla, though. Oh man, this dragon...
Now, Marshall is the normal boss for Moogle defense, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. That's why I'm calling it French vanilla, because this is actually the boss after this one. After Welk. It's the second boss in the game, so... in the same area, so... That should do it right there. Yep. There's Dan Marshall. Let's see if this is a Magicite. It is.
Grotto. Okay, that's good. Going to go grab the experience egg just because.
Offering. Jesus gets the offering anyways without having to go down for it. That's huge for his fixed dice user now for Edgar.
At this point, they're both on 1 dragon, 8 Esper, 7 characters. They got some divergence going on, but do you think either of them are ahead just based on composition levels or like anything like that?
Honestly, I think we're dead tied. I mean, maybe Jesus Frog's maybe a little bit ahead for doing the experience egg there on Sabin to get those levels. To try to get the Bum Rush, if he learns Bum Rush. If he learns Bum Rush, I think it's slightly to him, but Outlaw.Star does get the KD unlock.
Okay, and so as Outlaw.Star, do you want to try and maybe do a bit more to see if you can get Skip?
Well, we don't know what Skip is unless you noted it before we got up here. I didn't. We'd have to look to see to find out. Because Skip is randomized on what characters, espers, and dragons you need. Outlaw.Star currently is at only 16 checks, so he's nowhere near Skip check-wise. So this looks like we're running the tower split and maybe twice. These levels I don't feel too good about. We are probably running the tower twice, and we are.
Yeah, so he's going to stack right to be able to get through the ambush and possibly one of the dragons. Maybe even take that through the center path of the statues. And then the rest of the groups are just going to be holding Moogle charms, basically, and being there to press switches. And then once that's done, he'll warp out and then divide the party to take on the side statues.
By the way, Jesus does get their Esper reward, but he has to run across all the way down the train. Now, I don't disagree with it. He did peek it so see if it was a reward or not. Did see it as an Esper, does get the unlock, but now he has to go all the way down the train in order to actually officially get that Esper. We do count it because he got the Esper in possession, but does not count on the scoreboard until he finishes this train run.
And we do know it's Inferno at the end of this. I don't think it'll pose that much of a threat to him, but he does have to get through it. And meanwhile, Outlaw.Star is going to be hopefully getting some more power by going through and stacking this group 3.
Going over the Espers in our heads here, I did not see Gollum. I did not see Fenrir. We do have Mute that we learned off a spell. We have Kieran on Jesus' side, which is a good region thing. But I don't know if I saw X-Zone.
We did see Palador, but that's a very, very silly way to try and get past Calmness.
Oh, 4 wide strat metal from Inferno. That's going to put a little dent into Jesus' side. Inferno at this stage, not going to be easy to fight here. Especially fixed dice on a 3-target entity is not going to be easy either.
Yeah, meanwhile, we just have Narapa here as the ambush spot.
Also, Sabin, Outlaw.Star Sabin did not learn Bum Rush, diving in the tower, but he might actually get the levels for it, leave, go get Bum Rush, and then come back. I mean, that is also an option too. Where Jesus the Frog, I think they're... Oh, unless Sabin gets back up, he's not going to have high enough levels of Sabin to actually learn it, though.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how much he gets out of the... Like, does he take this dragon fight? Does he go back with Group 3 to go fight the other dragon, too? I mean, that takes up more time, but it is a way... Okay, he's skipping
there's your
this
answer,
dragon.
Yeah. You ask, you shall receive. You didn't get the answer.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to go back for any other, like, backtrack around Group 2's path to get the second dragon, if he's not going to take his own dragon.
Yes, Brazilian guy, you do see the demon pepperoni too. You do see the demon Kokobo as the backdrop for Outlaw.Star. Yeah, Chadius agrees with us. He said double dip KT. I
would feel like you might want to take that dragon depending on how confident you are with your levels.
Knuckly Kong says that he would double dip the tower, but he would do dragons on the way. But once again, we want to remind everybody as we come to the 56-minute mark as Jesus the Frog completes the actual KT unlock that this match matters because the winner of these two teams will move on to the playoffs. Team Meteo, which is being represented by Outlaw.Star this week for substitution, if they win, that means we have to go to Saturday, noon Eastern, for the match against jesusthefrog versus Green Monkey. If Jesus the Frog wins this, the series is technically over, and Team Ultima will move on to the playoffs. Team Meteo has to win all 3 of these matches this week in order for them to move on. Jesus the Frog finds dried meat. He's like, where was that earlier?
Yeah, it looks like we're just doing a
Oh my
resupply run.
goodness. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there, but Jesus the Frog's Saban is level 50. Outlaw.Star is only level 35. So
Right,
Jesus
so-
the Frog could split the party here, especially if he gets a bum rush on his Saban.
I mean, do you see him going and do the bum rush cutscene at this point?
With this many levels, he can split and run it once, where Outlaw.Star has to run it twice. I would do it. We're under 1 hour. And
He's definitely doing
for
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is guaranteed Saban can solo for you. If he can find the crossing trees, there it is. But here's the thing, we know Outlaw.Star has to still fight Guardian. He still has to fight Middle Statue, back out, rerun the tower. Now, tower takes about 3 minutes and 45 seconds to run. So we know that Jesus the Frog is going to be spotted 3 minutes and 45 seconds for whatever he's doing right now. And only has to run the tower once, unless he gets bogged down.
So Piranha's not a huge threat, really, or well, I say that, but apparently
You know,
we're...
Can you not commentator curse this?
I'm used to much weaker piranhas. That's all I'm saying. Like, I've never seen this happen before.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Somebody clip that, please, for the highlights. Apparently Edgar is allergic to seafood.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Oh, that was brutal. Oh my god.
But, you know, he recovered at least. And meanwhile, we now see the big bad come out just as Jesus Frog finishes up the bum rush cutscene.
Yeah.
So that Saban can solo a lot now.
Yeah, and Jesus the Frog is doing his first dive into KT at 59:30. He is technically 7 minutes and 10 seconds behind Outlaw.Star going into KT, but again, Outlaw.Star has to rerun the whole thing again. And Jesus is splitting up his party to attempt to run it once.
Yeah, so just needs to make sure you got your charm mules equipped with their Moogle charms.
I mean, at this stage, I could even see Outlaw.Star when he leaves. Because his Saban is level 43. He is that level where he can learn Bum Rush. He might actually go out and do the cutscene before coming back, which is going to give Jesus even a bigger lead now. The only thing is Jesus going to get bogged down? Saban's going to solo. I'm assuming Shock Realm is going to be the other solo, possibly, or is it going to be the Fixed Dice Edgar soloing?
I didn't quite see how he divided it up, but Saban is definitely bringing... another Bum Rush user, apparently.
Well, that's the good thing about Go-Go. They can use Bum Rush because they mimic ability, but it's going to be at a much, much, much lower level.
And we do see Doom is at the center spot here.
Looks like Saban's going to solo the middle, so he's actually going to fight all three of these bosses with Bum Rush, level 50 even. One shot of this should probably do it. Unfortunately, we have to wait for all these...
It looks like he was trying to see if he wanted to just do like a Doom cast or something on Narapa.
Well, it has to be X-Zone because Narapa has wall. Has reflect on it.
But yeah, just settling for the Bum Rush.
Yeah, this Bum Rush is easily going to do quad 9s here. All he has to do is mimic this and Narapa's down. Meanwhile, Doom here for the middle lane. So we do know that Saban's also going to have to fight Doom. With that Bum Rush ability, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be automatic 1-9s every time it gets Doom.
All right, putting on double earrings. Probably...
A little overkill.
Yeah.
A little overkill, but that's okay.
I mean, do you put the experience egg on Go-Go just to see if you can boost Go-Go's bum rush a bit, or is that just
Yes.
not worth it at this point?
No, I would. Well, given the fight that we have to fight 3 fights, one of which has to be a statue, I would put double earrings on Go-Go, and just maybe actually slide the Moogle Charm to Sabin to maximize the amount of damage we do. But again, we're doing quad 9s on Sabin. All we need to do is do it like 4, maybe 5 times. We're good.
Okay, so we have Edgar here in Group 1.
So Outlaw.Star is going to peek here on what the statue ordering is, so that way the rest of us will find out what we're going to be fighting up against here. So we know what we're doing. So it's going to be Poltergeist on the left lane, which means Goddess is going to be in the right lane. Vanilla.
Okay, so if you have Outlaw.Star's party, how do you want to split that up to take out Poltergeist on the left and Goddess on the right?
Well, I don't know. Let me see. Let's see if he goes after Bum Rush first. Before I even answer that. Because if he goes after Bum Rush, well, either way, I would put Realm and Sabin in 2 different parties, and then the other 2 with them. And he is going to go for Bum Rush. This is what we thought. So, yes, this is actually going to put him even further behind. He doesn't know that. It's only an hour and 3 minutes into the race. And he's actually going to put himself even more behind, unfortunately, for him. But I would think this is kind of necessary. His levels are much, much, much lower than Jesus is.
And it's extremely, interesting that's how it played out. Because originally, at the very beginning, Outlaw.Star was getting levels while jesusthefrog was tripping up that scaling, but the double experience egg I think made a difference.
Thank you, Gar, for the rate of 5. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, so Edgar is going to be taking on Goddess. Sabin is going to take on Poltergeist.
That's fine.
And then it looks like Cyan and possibly Realm with Cyan is going to be taking on this Doom and Guardian spot.
Interesting. Okay. Little change up there.
I mean, jesusthefrog doesn't know that's the matchup that he's got, but that's what it's looking like.
That's a little bit of a change up. Usually your right side person usually fights both middle, but a little bit of a switch up there, having lane 1 actually fighting these last 2 fights together. That's actually interesting. It's kind of an uncommon play. As Outlaw.Star goes back into KT again at 105, we'll call it even. That is, unfortunately, 7...
That gal still has a curse shield on.
12 minutes, so that's a 12-minute gap there. So right now... We'll see. jesusthefrog currently has a 5-minute, 30-second lead right now. And has to run the entire tower again, which is going to give him another 340. So, I mean, right now you're looking at about 8 minutes here that Outlaw.Star has to make up now. And with Jesus in the lead here, if Jesus wins, once again, Team Ultima is going to move on to the playoffs next week.
Okay, Gal is finally taking a nap.
Yeah, he was very angry. He was an angry kid. He got sent to bed with no supper, apparently.
And that's Reza passed down, so Guardian spot is clear on jesusthefrog's side.
Yeah, the fish were not quite biting as hard for jesusthefrog on this side. And now he's gonna move. He's gonna move on. He's gonna do the meme chest for the free Mega Elixir. Wow, we missed that the first time around. That's amazing going into Final Kafka. Just a free Mega Elixir for you. But this is again Doom here. He's going to be 2v1 here, so he should be able to get this no problem.
Yeah, that Cyan is his jump character, and then Realm is, of course, still rolling out that shock.
these two don't have the same damage that the brother's Figaro does. And there's the freeze I was just talking about. Cyan frozen now. Does that, because this is spicy chicken, we do have fire. If we want to unthaw Cyan, I don't know if they're going to bother. Ooh, they might now. Yeah, as Realm gets under 3 digits here. Hopefully he doesn't do... Oh, he has Minerva on Cyan, that's right. So, should be fine. The Surge could hurt, though. Still hanging in there.
Okay, second phase.
Well, this stage 2 setup for... Ooh, Whirlwind on Cyan. That's actually kind of nice. Now we can. Now we know we can max heal up Cyan. Oof. Oh, just a split second late. Could not get the heal off. As Whirlwind, as we see a lot with Girl on tier 3, heals the party the amount of HP their current HP is currently at. So if you put an X potion on Cyan, it heals them up to say 3,000 HP. He's going to heal the entire party for 3,000 each. Considering we haven't seen much healing in this seed, that's going to be a big point of note for Jesus having that.
Okay, that shock gets us through. So Jesus is now done with the center path. Just has to do side statues as well. Outlaw.Star is back on switches though.
Yes, he is. Mixed up the party run, though. Does fix it with the switches that Jesus did earlier. So we're actually tied, everybody. We are tied. Outlaw.Star has caught up the gap. And we are going to be about, let's see, 109.24 here.
Okay, so he just has to get... So we do have the poltergeists, but we also know that this is your bum rush user.
Yeah, this should not be a problem unless we get stopped here. 109.74 or 47. So right now, Outlaw.Star is only 23 seconds. He went from 5.5 back to now only being 23 seconds behind now. We have a race, everybody.
That Go-Go barely survived that attack.
Outlaw.Star is even much lower level here. Let's see if he can quad 9 it, and he does not. Merton counter. Youch. This might be a reset, and it is. Yeah, Jesus getting those levels late on Jesus' side, getting those 2 experience eggs, having them for longer is making the difference here.
Okay, that arrow took out Go-Go, but Saban is still up, and Saban's the one doing the quad 9s.
Okay, All-Star is going to change focus here as Jesus does take down Spicy Chicken. They're going to focus on Cyan now, who has an Atma Weapon Offering combo against Goddess. Now, Offering does negate the... Oh. Does mess up his party composition a little bit, putting Cyan and Realm on the same side, though.
So for this fight, you wanted them organized slightly different so that she could only target one at a time?
Yeah, because right here, like if she put, she could do Gigavolt on both of them on the same side. You want to split the party up so that way when she does target things, she can only target one or the other, not both sometimes. So that's why you want to stagger your party in 2s and 3 slots and then have your extra character be in that 4th or 1st slot.
Okay, so we got a jumping Edgar going up against Goddess on Jesus' side.
Okay. That's fine. Just going to keep Edgar out of harm's way. As long as we don't see any fish, we're okay, right? Oh, Terra cannot steal that extra Minerva from Goddess here. Does take down Goddess, though. Now just have to get through Spicy Chicken with a low health Sabin here. Oof.
Oh, that was pretty rough there. But Edgar is still in the fight.
Yeah. See, Outlaw.Star, again, having the little bit of a benefit for running twice, having two characters to fight these battles with, as opposed to soloing on Jesus' side. If there's one more bolt 3, it does come out! That's a reset for Jesus now! It's a tie game!
Yeah, that was a fixed dice, Edgar, I think. So there's some pretty low rolls on those jumps.
Yeah, RNG is going to RNG, man. Both sides are down to one statue each.
So Jesus is pulling that Thunder Shield off of Realm and putting on Edgar.
That's a smart play. That'll keep Edgar in it. Still going to stick with the fixed dice offering, though. As Outlaw.Star, again...
I don't know if he found a better spear to use, so that fixed dice could be the best option.
Partisan gives you more consistent damage, but I don't know if it's going to do more than a high-rolling fixed dice, though. That's the thing. We don't... I mean, it could go either way, as again, but he's not jumping. He's only offering. So it's going to be a little bit faster. The damage is going to come a little bit faster here. Not going to get the multiply effect from the jump, but is going to get those dice rolls faster and get this battle sped up considerably. As Outlaw.Star now fights their Nemesis statue on Poltergeist on the left lane here.
And there's still the question of, like, how are they going to be approaching the final Kefka fight, too? Because as you said, there's a lot of the usual tools are not necessarily available to them.
Again, Love Token does not matter on Jesus' side. Does have an offering which bypasses that.
Because it's X fight and not regular fight.
Yeah, Blaster coming out of Shadow. I don't think Outlaw.Star... I think Outlaw.Star forgot he healed his party before that fight, so that might have been part of the problem, as Goddess does go down for Jesus. 114.33. We'll see what the gap is here.
That's a fairly decent hit on Poltergeist there, and we'll see if this Southern Cross causes problems.
Not too bad. We can take a couple of those, actually. But Jesus does have to take a moment to retool his party now, because he did rob Thunder Shield from Realm as 115.04.
Yeah, so we're probably going to see a little bit of menuing on both sides just to make sure everyone's like prepared for the final fight.
31-second gap. It's a 31-second gap, everybody. This is what we wanted tonight. Playoffs on the line. 31 seconds match between our two fighters. Let's go.
Well, right now, but we don't know how much menuing these guys plan on doing. So someone could stay a little too long in the menus and lose their advantage, or give the other one more of an advantage.
All right, well, Jesus the Frog, one switch in. Tell your friends, everybody, to get on here. Start watching, all. This is going to be close.
So on Jesus Frog side, we see Odin, Shote, Unicorn, and I think Seraphim, or no, Phantom. So Phantom could be an attempt for calmness protection. Odin could be an insta-kill. Unicorn's good against Train. And Shote could also be for long arm.
And by the way, we want to remind everybody that on the Spicy Chicken set, you can reuse the Espers. You can use the Espers multiple times.
So that Phantom could see more than one use.
Correct. Looks like Outlaw.Star is finishing up his menuing. He's going to dive in. We'll see what the difference is on there. 116.36. He makes up a little bit. He caught up by 2 seconds. So Outlaw.Star was 2 seconds faster in the menuing. It's a 30-second gap now for Jesus the Frog between Outlaw.Star. Again, playoff implications on the line. Outlaw.Star has to win this one as the substitute for Team Meteo. If Jesus the Frog wins this one for Team Ultima, the series is effectively over and Team Ultima moves on to the playoffs.
Goat comes out and does get long arm right away.
Ooh, Realm at very low health. Everybody gets pulled forward. See if he takes a turn to bring everybody back. Again, the compositions are exactly the same. Edgar, Sabin, Realm, and Cyan. No difference in the party composition. One slight difference, though, is... one slight difference is for Outlaw.Star is Cyan's is in the front row. Ooh, missed the bum rush.
We got Float coming out. That's probably just because he's not sure if he's going to be able to take the head before the arm.
All right. Do you want to do this? Do you focus on Jesus? I'll focus on Outlaw.Star. Do you want to do it that way?
Sure. Yeah. So
Right.
Jesus also, I think he was, I can't remember exactly, but he set up something that I thought was interesting as far as. Oh, I remember now. He was doing a lot of. Looks like he was doing some really good weight tricking on early on with that fixed dice.
Definitely so. Outlaw.Star did take out the long arm with Show. He's currently focusing the head a little bit. Cyan did target the short arm instead of the long arm there. Reset for Outlaw.Star. He took short arm out before head. Didn't go back to do float on his party, and now he's going to have to reset.
Yeah, that float is some when you got like this many things that are just open targets and not direct targets. Float is almost essential for this first tier.
Okay, they're going back again at 119.02 now.
But yeah, that is a huge gain for Jesus Frog side.
Yeah, that 30-second gap just turned into a 3-minute gap. Jesus the Frog smartly doing the float there with the non-targetables. Bum rush taking out the head there, which causes the quake. That's why you do not want to take head out last. But if you have float, as long as you don't get that magnitude gravity thing that pulls you back to the ground that negates the float, you can get through with that. It's actually a really good strat.
We do know that Mute was available to learn. We'll see if it gets cast.
Mute was available to learn, so we did learn Mute from somebody.
Hopefully we did.
Also learned Berserk, apparently, for in case we ran the Magic Master, so that's good.
It looks like Odin did take out tools there.
Outlaw.Star back on Tier 1. Now, again on Tier 1, like we said, you want to take out Long Arm first because you can instantly kill it. Then you want to take out Head second. Head is weak to fire, so you want to use a lot of the fire spells that we do have on hand. Fire 2, Fire 3. And then you take out Shorthand last because you want to prevent that quake that we just saw on Jesus' side. You want to talk about Tier 2?
Yeah, so basically Tools is vulnerable to instant death. We saw that Odin come out to deal with that. The magic in the back is vulnerable to mute, but it looks like they haven't done that yet. And in fact, magic did mute Realm. Not that it's going to stop her shock. Then Tiger does have some really nasty stuff, so you want to try and get that done as soon as possible. Usually vulnerable to ice, but we don't have ice magic. And hit in the front does a 10-hit attack at the end. You can stop him, but the best thing to do is possibly use that Phantom to just make your guys invisible once everything else is taken care of.
Yeah, so the order of operation is just insta-kill tools, mute magic, focus down Tiger, which is the cat thing that you're pointing to there in the bottom, and then probably do magic before hits. The only weird thing is if you kill magic slightly before hits, magic could cast Debbie on your entire party, lowering their health, and hits can come back in behind him. That's blue guy on the top there. Can come through and kill your party that way. It can happen. It's very rare, but it can actually happen. Tier 1 is down for Outlaw.Star. They're going to Tier 2 now.
Okay, 10 hits did come out, and it looks like 7 of the 10 may have connected. So did dodge 3 of the 10 hits, but hit is down, so it's just Tiger and possibly Magic.
Actually, it's just Tiger. Tiger's dead.
Oh, they are, yeah, they already got, so done with already onto Tier 3. This is the fun one. You need to take out Lady as soon as possible, because otherwise she can bring Sleep back up to life. And then when Sleep is the guy who will go into Meteo phase when he's less than 10,000 HP, and then will death counter with Calmness, which is an instant kill on physical.
Very rude here for Outlaw.Star as Realm gets imped immediately to start the fight, so he's going to have to unfortunately take a moment to get them back to normal, as I don't see any... Oh, there's a green cherry. I didn't see any remedies either. I was getting a little nervous there.
Okay, they opened with Meteo, and that was fine. Only the brothers were the ones who took damage from it, and then Silent's able to use the Pro Win to get back up. And Realm is already shocked, so it's possible that Lady's going to be dead already.
Yeah, girl's
We're already in Meteo
Ooh,
phase.
Wow, this is going to be
That's
very
kind of
quick.
spooky.
Yeah, but we didn't take too much damage. We could take a... Well, I was going to say we'd take a second Meteo. We do take a second Meteo.
Cyan is very low, but we might be able to get back
That's
up.
Pro Win. He only's going to do 200 HP to the entire party. It's going to be a wasted.
Fader is out, so we'll be able to dodge any physical stuff. But that Meteo, if another Meteo comes out, it'll get rid of the Fader.
Ooh, quick coming out of Sabin. This could be quick double bum rush. Is going to show him, though. So this is going to be Sabin possibly sacrificing himself to Calmness here. Does not target Sabin. He moves on.
Well, only one Calmness hit. Sometimes you get two, so that was very good. Cyan's low, but, you know, the main party survived to Final Kefka. That's what you kind of need. If Final Kefka opens with Fallen One like usual, you can just get that Mega Elixir out, and your party's back on fighting strength. And plus, there was no...
Sorry, Outlaw.Star still on tier 2. Hits is dead. Just Magic and Tiger is up. Magic is muted on that side of the screen, so we just want to try to get Tiger down here, as we are dealing with pretty good health totals on the side.
Yeah, and that double Meteo means that jesusthefrog did not have to deal with Train, so it doesn't have to worry about any kind of status effects right now. Just needs to start doing some damage and then possibly heal after Fallen One.
Oh, going for the quick double bum rush again.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. You want to just get some damage out, that's a very quick way to do it. I mean, it's in the name.
I believe this is tier 2 for Outlaw.Star here. It is. 124.56. They are still 3 minutes behind. Did not catch up any time yet.
We still, jesusthefrog's still doing a lot of weight tricking just to give himself as much actions as possible against Kefka. Donner phase is triggering.
Yeah, we're going to get on Frog's side. He does have his mic open, so we are going to have to watch out for his mic. But we do want to get his instant reaction here and try to get this takedown here. Crack pow!
Yep,
Frog wins it.
That means Team Ultima goes on, I believe.
And that means the series is over. They just needed that one win. Team Ultima will be moving on to the playoffs next week.
And to some extent, it came down to that really unfortunate reset that Outlaw.Star had to do on Tier 1 of Final Kefka, it seems. I mean, it almost seems like this entire match ended up being decided by a float cast.
And joining us now is Jesus the Frog, or Jesus the Frog. GG, buddy. You made it. You had your team now moving on to the playoffs.
GG. That was pretty good.
Yeah, so walk us back through. You got a lot of checks in the early game. You focused on more going through the checks, getting the rewards early than trying to do the levels there.
Yeah, well, I saw I had Realm Shock, so I was not worried about increasing scaling at all. In fact, I wanted to increase scaling to 5, 6. So I had Imperial Camp, I had Serpent Trench, Wizard's Mansion, I can bump the scaling way up and then do grind fights in those checks with shock, power through, get levels, no problem. Especially when I saw the Super Volley Coliseum, I can grab a dragon, no issue.
And were you planning on just going for Bum Rush like from the beginning when you saw Blitz on Saban?
I considered it when I got the experience egg. That's when I was sure.
Experience eggs do help, and you got 2 of them early on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made the decision to go for an experience egg over the Shiva at the weapon shop check. Was that just because you said, all right, I can get the levels using this and then come back for that later if I don't find another Esper?
Yeah, it's a tough call between the Esper and the item. I usually will peek the Esper and then reset if it's not good enough. But in that case, I knew I had enough offense to carry early game. I didn't need to worry about getting like a Fire 2 or Fire 3 in that Esper. I saw Saban with Blitz. I saw the experience thing. I knew that was one lane taken care of. Guaranteed. I needed that experience egg. The second one later on meant I could have taken Shiva, but it would slow me down because I would have needed to wait for that one before starting to get levels.
Well, Terra was found though later on. She was actually in the ancient castle check, so that Esper could have been back in a little bit later on.
As soon as I get Edgar, but I decided I had too many other checks to do to go there.
By the way, we see here Outlaw.Star just finishing up, it appears. Yep, they just finished up. 1:28:47 is their official time.
Yeah, so 3-minute difference.
Yeah, it's a 3-minute difference stayed in there. They, unfortunately, you guys, Outlaw.Star ran KT twice. Well, you ran it once. You had much, much more levels than they did, but you guys were tied going into his second round of statues. You both had 2 left. You both had to reset you and Goddess them on Spicy Chicken, but you guys were only 30 seconds apart going into Final Kefka, and unfortunately Outlaw.Star reset because he did not do float to counter the head where you did, and that effectively was the difference of this fight.
Gotta remember your ABCs. Always be floating.
But what? But it starts with an F.
This was, yeah.
So back at when this whole tournament was starting, I used to ask a lot about like how people felt about the different flag sets. So now that we are sort of approaching the playoffs and towards the end of it, I guess I'll ask you again. Like, how do you feel about the 3 different flag sets like compared to each other now?
Well, I like Doom the best. It's a lot of fun to get big weapons and then have everyone swing big weapons. It's so much fun to be like, Dead Chick, Ragnarok, Kill a Dragon, Illumina, buy a VK or 2. It's so much fun. I think I understand how to play it the best as well. Poltergeist, I understand the least. I can't wrap my head around the strategy. This time, it was easy because the strategy was Blitz, Saban, Shock, Realm.
We sort of told you the answer right at the beginning, and you just had to figure out one last piece.
Right, I just had to figure out how to route it. I didn't have to figure out what to do. Like, I knew where my offense would be. I have the Dragoon set, I can make someone a jumper, I can make Saban into a Bum Rusher, I can have High Level Magic, or worst case scenario, Shock with Realm, and that's all I need to clear the seed. So it's just a matter of figuring out the fastest way to do the checks, give characters.
How huge was that second dragon giving that offering?
I didn't really care, honestly. Like, Edgar didn't have a lot to do. I considered it once I had him, who wear the fixed dice, swapping the Dragoon set over to him. I probably would have if I hadn't found the offering, but it was Edgar not doing much or Cyan not doing much. Although, honestly, Cyan did have Arrow, and his Pearl Wind was useful the entire seed, so I could have swapped a Dragoon set to fixed dice on Edgar and kept Cyan casting Arrow. That probably would have been more optimal.
And also joining us in the room is Outlaw.Star. GG for you. That was a very close race there.
Yeah, it was.
GG.
GG.
Yeah, so just to highlight again, you guys were actually neck and neck. I know Outlaw.Star, you had to run the tower twice because of leveling and all. Then you went back for the bomb rush there towards the end before going into tower a second time. You guys were actually tied about 2 statues apiece when Jesus the Frog actually went in to do Kefka's tower. He just went split party. And you guys were only 30 seconds apart going into final Kefka, but that unfortunate tier 1 for you with head there and not using float there.
Yeah, I had a few spots where I made a few mistakes. And unfortunately, in races this tight, you just can't do that.
Okay, sure. So, Outlaw, what was it when you saw your initial character set? What was like? How did that sort of affect your decisions going forward for the seed?
Well, I knew I wanted to check shops so I could check for the dried meat because Gao really wasn't great, so I wanted to get him out of there as soon as possible. But also I like taking the check early because it gets you some levels and you don't have to deal with the added bonus levels that the dragons and the bosses get. So it gives you a chance to kind of build your levels and get a start going there.
And was the bomb rush going to be part of the plan from the beginning, or was that something you decided on later?
If I got an experience egg, I was going to do it because I knew that I would probably struggle to get the experience to get up there without one, unless I had gone in to my final run on the tower, and I didn't want to have to go in and out of the tower more than I already was. But when I saw how far I was from my skip and how much experience I still needed, that was when I decided to do the tower twice.
Yeah, we didn't actually catch what the skip was, so could either of you enlighten us on what was the actual skip requirements for this one?
It was
9, 13, 25, I think.
No, it was 8, 12, 24, or 8, 12, 25, one of the two. I know it was 8 characters, because it was only 1 up from the normal, and 12 was the standard 3 plus espers. It might have been 24, it might have been 25 for the checks.
Okay, so the only real way you could have gotten skipped there is if you, Jesus, actually went to Ancient Castle and got the Terra route. Yeah, that's not the plan, the Terra route, okay, people?
Was Terra at Ancient Castle, or was she at Engine Room?
Ancient
Castle. She was the frozen statue.
Oh yeah, Ancient Castle, that's right.
Okay. I considered peeking into Edgar's check to see if it was character and getting a skip, but if it wasn't to get Terra there, I wouldn't even gone for it.
And it was when you saw the curse shield at 16, was that even going to be a possibility for either of you?
Not really. I originally was like, nah, 16 is too much. But I had such good offense. I was like, well, I could just throw it on someone who's doing nothing anyway. This is the Realm Shock show, so they may as well have it on. But then I forgot to equip it. I got like 7 battles in. I only had it on like 2 battles, so I decided to just abandon it.
Maybe if I had like a ribbon early, but I didn't find any real useful relics for most of the seeds, so.
I believe it was a partisan was the spear that you got from the Colosseum. Was that just going to be like, all right, I'm fine with that, or were you hoping to find a better spear or better weapon to put on your jumper?
I was hoping for something better, but it just didn't happen for me. I didn't find the fixed dice, apparently.
Yeah, where were they? They were just in a box somewhere?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly where I saw it, but I did notice you picking them up. It was very early there, too, I think, that you found those.
Yeah, it might have been like one of the South Figaros or Albrook. I don't remember. Oh, I know. It was in Collapsing House, bottom floor, left chest.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because I believe Outlaw.Star just ran and grabbed the child and ran out.
Yeah, I didn't check all the chests in Collapsing House, I don't think.
I only had 30 chests going to Collapsing House, so I figured I wanted a bit more money so I could try to maybe buy a weapon from a Shopify one, find a Ragnarok, find an Atma. So I was doing a little more looting and picked it up there.
And I already asked Jesus this, but Outlaw.Star, how do you feel about the different flag sets? I don't know how many you've gotten to do because you have sort of been filling in a role as a sub, and so I don't know if you've been practicing a lot or if you just find yourself doing a particular flag set here or there. But what's your opinion on the different flag sets for this Warring Triads?
I've really been enjoying them. It's fun to play something different for a change, right? Like I've played a lot of Ultras League seeds. I think a lot of us in the community have played our fair share of them. Um, so it's nice to kind of have something a little different, and I think it's really cool to have it themed around the statues.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite or least favorite?
I'm not a fan of Doom's Rage.
Complete opposite of what Jesus likes, actually.
I'm not a fan of Doom's Rage. I don't mind the other two at all.
So the other big draw for me for Doom's Rage is you get the 5 dragon auto image, which first of all, auto image is amazing, but also it's an excuse to kill 5 dragons, which I want to do in every seed anyway. Now I can say, no, auto image. That's why I'm doing it.
I appreciate that as a person who does enjoy dragon killing.
I will say though, I don't really understand Poltergeist too well, but all 3 flag sets are a lot of fun. I really enjoy them, mostly because of the increased max scaling and statue shuffle, which means you can't just worry about Phala Kefka. You really have to worry about how you're going to kill the statues. And lots of times, I've gone up to statue fights with a party that could easily take on Kefka and been completely walled by one of them, usually Poltergeist. You get the wrong character in there, and you can't do anything. So it requires a lot more strategizing about what your boss is going to be.
I noticed in your after the goddess fight, because you did have to redo that one, you ended up swapping the Thunder Shield to just give Edgar that edge to survive it.
Yeah, I should have put it on up front. I knew it was goddess there. I just forgot. Easy mistake.
And you're actually going to be playing more of those seeds coming up because with this win, that's going to put Team Ultima into the next round. You're going to go to the playoffs, bud.
Exciting.
And also, shout out to you, Outlaw.Star, for jumping in for a substitution. We do appreciate you pulling double duty this week and doing some extra spicy chicken action for you.
Yeah, of course, not a problem. Glad to be here.
Anything before you guys go, before we wrap things up here from either one of you?
I think I said all I need to say.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Alrighty, good deal.
I'm just going to say it was a great matchup. It was really close, and thank you both for volunteering to be up on the stream because we can't do these streams without the runners.
Yeah, definitely can't do the streams without the runners, and thank you guys for doing a last minute jump in because again, exciting match, and you guys definitely entertained us all with this exciting match for playoff implications too. So we do appreciate both of you.
Oh, I do want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
I'm glad to have gotten a seed with shock. This is the first Poltergeist seed I've played that has shock in it. I've seen a lot of them with other people, but I've never had them before.
Shock realm, no less.
Exactly.
Alrighty, we'll cap it right there. Once again, I also guys want to mention that there is another match going on right now. We are not going to be restreaming on FF6 Worlds Collide. It is going to be available on Khadgar, and you want to head over to our FF6 Worlds Collide Discord. The link will be up there in the FF6WC content section, where you can actually watch Oregon Dude versus Tybalt. That's another match that has a little bit of playoff implications. Both of their teams are going into the next round for playoffs. However, they're pretty much deciding on which one first or second place level that's going on. That's going to be available in a Khadgar link here in just a little bit for that. Once again, I want to wrap things up here. Again, we're going to show you once again the 2 times as well. Once again, Jesus the Frog wins 125-43 versus Outlaw.Star's 128-47. Once again, Team Ultima will be moving on to the next stage. Thank you for all watching. I am Saberwolf. Want to thank Joker Made for jumping with me in the booth. Thank you to Jesus the Frog and Outlaw.Star for jumping in with the runners. Again, without the runners, we cannot have these restreams. We'll have more action for you again all week next week. We have 24 matches we're going to be covering throughout the community here, so we do hope you join us all for those. Enjoy the rest of the week, and see you later.